Creating cards with beautiful background stamped pieces that have been die cut and colored that are quick and easy is essential for creating those backgrounds for your card bases. Today I'm here to share some of my top tips on how you can add these ornate feathery floral accents the easy way. We're going to do a multicolored stamping technique and all sorts of fun things. So I'm going to first of all just show you some of the beautiful projects that have been created with these feathery floral accents. Now, as you can see, they are beautiful like focal pieces for your cards, and then you can also really use them as background accents. So we're going to step through and show you how to do like these beautiful multicolored pieces. You can also stamp them in gold, have these beautiful, just a little bit of color highlighted on the background. There's different sizes, variations, leaves that you can cut apart. These are absolute essentials that you will find yourself reaching for over and over in your crafting toolbox. So here you'll see that we have some floral backgrounds that can be used. Add some focal florals to the top. Add those leaves, those beautiful feather accents. So many variations just based on how you pair them to create beautiful, stunning cards the easy way. And I just can't wait to share these tips and techniques with you. So whether you want to use it as a piece for layering accents or use it as a beautiful colored focal piece, you can make it as extravagant or as simple as you want. And remember how we said we have these feathery floral accents, which are beautiful paired with the ornate peacocks as well. So lots of variations, so let's get started. When you create with this, there are many ways that you can stamp this to get beautiful background accent colors, whether you want to do something subtle and soft or something bright and vibrant like you see here, whether you want to color it or use the stamped image as a coloring focus. So we're going to start by using the Floral Feathers stamp set. This stamp set comes with 3 individual pieces that are different sizes, different ways that they are shaped, and different stamp designs, so you can really maximize your creativity with these. So let's get started. When you are stamping this image with a multicolored ink, you're going to start out with 3 colors that you absolutely love. It's pretty magical. This one that I'm using first is the magenta hue, and I'm going to cover the entire stamp. When you are doing this, just give yourself some grace. The first time through, it might feel a little bit difficult, and you might not get the best ink coverage depending on how you go about doing it. So just practice, and have some fun with it. It's just kind of magical when you see it all coming together. Now, with this, I am going back with the Majestic Violet, which is more of what I call a power color. It's a purple. And we're going to tap, tap, tap that color, and I'm just holding it at an angle. I hope you can kind of see that. I'm not going straight down. I am just using the edges of my ink pad, and I am going over the background of this stamp and just tapping some of that color in there. And then I lift off, and I'm going to go for my 3rd color. The 3rd color is an all-time favorite, which is the Forget-Me-Not. And this one I just came in from the edges using the corner of the ink and just kind of caught those little, I don't know, they remind me like little dandelion fluffs or kind of the fluff of a peacock feather. And when you look at this, if there looks like there's a kind of a sharp colored edge, as the colors are blending together, you can kind of lightly soften that out and kind of do like a similar technique that you would with markers. Now, here's what I'm going to show you. We're going to stamp this 2 times. The first time it's going to be a little bit more bold, and then we're going to do a 2nd generation stamping, and you'll see that it's softer, and that's what we are using for our card today. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp this right away, and then we'll hold this up so you can see the beauty of this stamp. So this is absolutely exquisite. So here you have 2 images stamped within seconds or minutes, and they're both beautiful. You can use this one for more of a bright and vibrant card, and then this one for more of your soft pastel. Here's a quick tip as well. If you stamp this with a pigment ink, like you could use 3 colors of pigment inks, and then emboss it with like a bridal embossing powder or a glittery embossing powder, you'll instantly have a glittered feather. So that makes a beautiful background piece very quickly. So your next step is going to be die cutting this out. Super stunning when it's all die cut out, which I absolutely love. And you'll do that to this one. You'll do the same technique to the small feather. The beauty and the detail of this is just absolutely exquisite. Then here we have one stamped in gold, and we're going to back it on gold luxe cardstock. And I'm just going to show you a quick coloring technique with this one. We didn't do much. We just used a little bit of the magenta hue, went around the center in a circular motion. Now, like we said, you can do this as vibrant as you want, or you can use it more as a pastel coloring effect as well. I'm going to add just a little bit of the leaf green around the edges and kind of just feather that out to have like a soft, subtle green in there. Might be a little bit difficult to see that on camera, but I think you get the gist. So when we came out and were concepting this collection, what we really wanted to allow you to do is have these beautifully like floral accent, feathery floral accents that you can add as backgrounds or use as focal points, but that you can really stamp them very easily, that it brings in nice, vibrant or soft colors and glitter to your card quickly, yet it looks like you spent a lot of time with it. And I think as you're watching, you'll see how beautifully that all comes together. So next step is going to be gluing this gold and white piece together. So we'll just do that real quickly with our hot glue, and I go ahead and just offset that just a teeny tiny bit, just so that you have a little bit of that gold accent pop. And then one more step with this, or actually two. We're going to use a little bit of the floral in this and some of the greenery in this. And at the end, I have a lot of samples to show you, but these are key components as background accents to put beautiful florals on top. Or you can also utilize these florals in the background as focal florals. And so if you want to use this as a focal floral, what you want to do, focal floral, that is like a tongue twister. Say that 10 times really fast with me. So we're just going to go ahead and use the magenta hue again, go in circular motions, and you have that flower just colored very quickly. And then if you want to make this into more of a focal floral, what you'll do is you'll just go ahead and just trim this out. And I will show you then which die and stamp combination this comes from as well. So we're just going to go ahead and snip this apart. Now you could use the rest of the swirls for something else then, the rest of the flowers. But I just go ahead and I just trim this out a little bit. And this will allow me to have a flower that you can just pop on top of your feathery accents very quickly. And or if you have a floral that you like to use that you've die cut in your craft room, you could use that as well. This is just another way that you can use these background pieces and use them more as focal points too. So we want you to be able to maximize your creativity with this. Now, like I said, this spray we are really only going to be using these background leafy florals. So what you're going to do is just lay this down, give this some quick coloring. And what I really want you to think about today is when you are creating, having these background components is really what pulls it all together and makes your bouquets and what you're putting on top really pop. And it's kind of like the hero in the background. It's kind of like those people that you know that are more behind the scenes doing all the things that make everything come into play. So that's what I like to think about when I'm using these as my background pieces. So we're just going to go ahead and clip some of these pieces off, and then we're going to go back and utilize those when we are putting our card together. And as you can see, you have pieces left over that you can use for other cards and projects as well. Now, when you create this card base, you are going to do a couple different cuts with your card base. So what I want you to do is take your card base, cut it to your A2, your 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. Then I want you to open this up and take a decorative piece from the Feathery Florals paper collection. Take this die, and what I want you to do is you're going to make 2 cuts, okay? You are going to go ahead and you're going to lay this decorative background paper on top here. You'll put this right up to the edge. And I'm going to act, I should have brought my die in here and I didn't. I'm so sorry about that. We're going to act like, can we do this? Can we do this? Yes, we can do this. We're going to act like this is our die. And we're going to lay this on top. It's not quite accurate to what I'm doing. But what you're going to do is you're going to lay this die on top. You're going to take the plates of your machine and you are only going to have the top and the bottom part of your plate cover the area that you want to have cut on this edge. And that's how you're going to run that through and cut that out. When that comes out, you'll just bring this off, You'll bring that die off and it will have cut this beautiful edge from that feather. Next step, you're going to use the inner part of the decorative die that we chose for this, and you're going to layer this on top and run it through again to get the inside opening. So hopefully that all makes sense for you. Once you have cut that, you're going to use foam dots. Bring this out and we'll just layer this on top, which is so pretty. So I love that you can also just do partial die cuts with these feathery accents and use them for border edges, which is simply stunning. Do you see this beautiful background paper? I can't wait to share the inside of the paper pad with you. Now, on the inside here, these images also make exquisite background stamps. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and stamp your image, doing a similar technique to what I had showed you with a feather. Take a die cut, like the opposite side of your die cut piece, and this is how we're going to color this in. We're just going to go ahead and put this mask over the top so that we can see which area we want to color with our mask in place, so that we kind of stay inside the line, which this is a great coloring tip and technique for you when you are doing something where you don't really want to color outside the line. Just use the outside mask piece of your die and you can very quickly and easily color in a spray like this, and it looks absolutely stunning. So just gently go over the top, color everything in, and when you pull this off, I always feel like it's pretty magical. It's like, okay, I colored within the lines very quickly and easily, and it just creates this beautiful background piece. Isn't that stunning? Love that tip. Hopefully that is something that, if you haven't used it before, it is something that you can utilize for yourself very easily. So I'm going to go ahead and add some glue to this inner border, and oops, my dry clear glue is not wanting to, it hasn't been used in a little while, so it's trying to just be stuck a little bit. So we won't waste time on it. We'll just use our hot glue and get this glued in. So here you have the inside piece. Now, since this is an opening in your card, what I would highly recommend that you do is just bring in a scrap piece of paper so that you don't accidentally glue this card shut. So our next step is going to add our decorative frame on top. I'm just going to tack this a little bit lightly in the corners with my hot glue so that we can bond that very quickly, since hot glue does dry very fast. So I just love how this gives you this background base that is super stunning. And then all that's left to do is just go ahead and add your feathers, your swirls, all that fun stuff. You could use your shaping tools to add some shape, or this one you can kind of just pull in a little bit. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue like right in this section and lay that feather on top so that I know that I don't have any glue kind of extending into the middle there. Next step is going to be gluing this one down. So as you can see, once you go to start layering these together, you have so many quick options to really beautifully add these to your card. Finish it with the glittering accents if you just stamped it with like a fast drying ink. So we'll just go ahead and lay this one in here, add your little floral. This one I would take my, hang on a second, you can take your stylus, just go ahead and give it a little bit of shaping. And you can then also add a stamen in the middle if you wanted to. So if you want to add a stamen, all you need to do is just pop a center into this floral. You could also just do prills if you wanted to. I'm using some of the stamens that launched with the Garden Lily collection. So we'll just go ahead and add a little dot of glue right in the center there and keep pulling those stamens on through and just pull that flower up. Isn't that just cool how in no time you have this really little, this teeny tiny flower? And then just go ahead and snip off that piece. Now you'll start bringing in your leaves as well. So I might go ahead and just bring in that swirl. You might have different ones that you want to add depending on how you layer these together. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring that one in. So as you can see, there's so many creative options with this and how you can very quickly and easily use these, layer them together, and just have a lot of fun with them. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and glue this one on top right in this section. It just has some more leaves come out in here so you can kind of see how those all beautifully layer together. I'm going to cut some of these off and we'll pop them on the other side of the flower, and I think our card will be complete outside of maybe some glitter. So this is like really the simple way to create your own beautiful background pieces very quickly, very easily, and it still looks like you spend a lot of time coloring, when in reality it was just a very fun and creative way to bring those all together. Now, this is one way to do it, but in front of me today I have many different samples from our very talented designers from all around the globe, and I can't wait to share those with you. So before I get into that, I will show you again, just very quickly, the card that is completely done. You can pop your sentiments in here, add your glitter, add the sparkle, and that card is completed. How cool is that? Now with this collection, we have the floral feathers that are what I consider like the hero, and then we have these feathery florals that are just absolutely exquisite as backgrounds. You can pop these dimensional flowers on top, and there's two different sprays. If you've been around long enough, you know how important these are in the backgrounds, or you can use them as just a beautiful focal piece, colored, super simple for a mailable card. So what I love about this is you'll see it used here just as a flat image in different color combinations. So that just in itself is super, super stunning. But you can also take it to the next level and have it look completely different by using it as a background and then popping your favorite florals on top. I bet if I would have asked you, you would not have known that this is the same image just used in the background and then added some really three-dimensional florals on top. Here you'll see how we used that same background flower, but also used some beautiful floral, feathery floral accents. Oh my gosh, those are a tongue twister, with beautiful color combinations on there. So lots of variations just based on how you choose to layer them together. And then there's this one. This one is a little bit more of what it's called the petite feathery florals. But if you look really closely, these florals remind me a little bit of the garden lily. So that is another accent that I really, really love. And then you have this beautiful little butterfly in there that you can just die cut and stamp, or you can also just stamp it to the background. I had, I don't know if you saw it on here. It's so, so pretty. So there's that little bonus butterfly in here. Here's another one of the stamp set that we had been looking at earlier. So we're just going to go through and just look at these cards individually and just have some fun with it. So here is one of those petite feathery florals, and then adding some of the ones that we were using on the first card. You've got that oval opening. So I feel like these feathers just really pair well with a decorative die of your choice, whether you do a card opening. Here we have those florals cut out and then using the feathers in the background along with these beautiful leafy sprays. I don't know about you, but sometimes I forget how important leaves are. And one of my top requests when I was, maybe at a retail show or something was, women saying, hey, Emmylou, I have a lot of dimensional flowers, but I really need accents for the background to help me, shape it and cluster it together. Because you know how when you see those beautiful bouquets that the florist gives you, you'll see kind of the heroes of the flowers that pop. But when you actually think about it, it's like, oh my gosh, these background accents and pieces is what really pulls it all together. So let's take a look at some more samples that I have in front of me. So here are these beautiful petite feathery florals in the back and then dimensional flowers on top. And here are just accents from these stamps. Look at how beautiful that just clustered together with those decorative dies. Super, super stunning on the slim lines as well. Like, look at that color. I absolutely love the beauty and the intricacy of the different color combinations here. It was just kind of around the heart. Here is one done in with the pink feathers in the background. There it is used in greens, which kind of gives it that leafy effect, except it's not really a leaf. It was more like a feather accent. And then we had seen this ornate peacock. You can really extend the feathers, do some fun things. It is designed to coordinate with your ornate peacock collection. Here you've got this beautiful spray of feathers coming up with those dimensional florals. I know there's so much to see. These cards will be featured on the blog with instructions, so make sure to check that out. And when you get these, If you type in the item number or the name of what you purchased, it'll bring up specific cards and videos that we have done with that collection. So here you have these feathers in vellum, so don't forget that, like sparkly vellum. Oh my gosh, super soft accents that are absolutely stunning. Here we have them in the background, like all this goodness in the background that graces these flowers is what makes this all come together so, so pretty. And then here is the last but not least, those beautiful feathers colored if you are a colorist. Stunning, stunning accent with those asters. Now the feathery florals, say that 10 times really fast, the paper collection. The paper collection, la la. It is gorgeous. Look at those colors. Absolutely stunning. Now, oh, I love this page with the sentiments. So, so pretty. And there you've got accents that you are just ready to die cut and glitter. Add them to your card, super easy. Most of our crafters like to not just get one, but two, so that you can use one just for pretty and the other one to cut in and use. So hopefully this inspires your creativity to get started on your next project. If you do not have the Feathery Florals collection yet, I've added the links below for a quick and easy ordering. Thank you so much for joining me today. And hey, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on our next video. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye.